Perfect.
The timing.
Timing is everything.
Timing is everything. Welcome everyone to the very first episode of CoinBaes. So excited. Money makes the world go round. So excited. I'm Chloe Condon, and I'm joined by my very special friend, Amy Shapiro.
Hi, I'm Amy. Hi, everybody.
Amy, I wore this shirt for you. It says, "Pretty is not the rent you pay to exist in this world as a woman." And this is an amazing shirt by Mary Nugent. Love it. One of my favorite shirts. How are you doing on this fine Anog day?
Anog day. You know, what's funny is I meant to wear an inauguration shirt. I have a tank top of sexy Joe Biden in Hawaii. You know the picture.
Oh, yeah.
I wore it on election day, and I was going to wear it today. But, you know, like the morning happened, and then all of a sudden it's nighttime, and I don't know where it went. So anyways, next time I'll try to wear a clever top.
I actually think the first person to ever send me that image was future guest of the show, April Vogan Code on Twitter. Love that thirst trap picture of Joe Biden. Love Joe Biden, really. Yeah. I should have worn my Obama hat. I have, you know what? Should I go grab my Obama hat? Should I wear that? You know what? 'Tis the season. While I grab my Obama hat, which is like 10 feet away from me, Amy... You know what? No, this matches. I'll wear the Obama hat next time. I don't want to leave you stranded here on the show. But Amy and I thought that this episode, our first episode, Meet the Baes, we, of course, are your CoinBaes. And this show is going to exist, I guess, for a couple reasons. Well, Amy and I we'll go into our background in a second. But Amy, tell the lovely humans at home a little bit about your expertise and what you do and how we got here.
Sure. So I am a financial advisor. I kind of went through this crazy road to get here, but I'm a financial advisor. I work at Lula Financial. We'll add the little website banner.
Yes, drop me the link in the private chat, and I'll scroll it.
I'll do it
on here.
So yeah, right now I'm a financial advisor. It's amazing to help people every day. That's why I wanted to do this. I have a long history in the corporate world. Sorry, that's my dog scratching that you're hearing.
We love the dogs. Will be making many cameos on the show.
Yeah.
We're very passionate about dogs on this show.
Yes. I'm really proud dog mom right here. But yeah, I've been working my whole adult life, making smart choices, making bad choices. Long story short, my father passed away and I came into some inheritance and had no idea what to do with that chunk of change. I got a financial advisor and they did okay, but I left that relationship feeling really unsatisfied because I didn't learn anything from it. The dude just made money with my money, which is nice, but I paid him a lot to do it and even paid him in some years when I didn't make money with my money in the market. And so I kind of went on this personal crusade to learn how to, manage my own finances. Fast forward a few years and now I am, registered with FINRA, SEC, state of California. I'm a legit financial advisor, and my whole goal is to be the financial advisor I wish I had when I needed one. And so my philosophy is around education and literacy. Being in the stock market is only a small piece of the financial narrative pie. It's a part of it, but it's not the whole thing. So I'm not a day trader. I don't believe in that. And I'm all about giving people the knowledge because I think it is criminal that we don't teach financial literacy in schools. So that's kind of it.
Say it louder for the people in the back. Yes. Amen. We got it I just realized that we were not streaming to my Twitch for the first couple seconds of this, but now we are live. If you're just joining us, you missed a lovely intro, which you can check out on Amy's page and my YouTube later, about who Amy is and why we're here. But long story short, Amy's amazing. Just recently made the transition to be a financial advisor. We'll go into our details of how we got here and how we met and everything. But first, Amy, I thought a fun little game that we could play, which serves two purposes, which is more of just a game to play while folks start streaming in to our stream. Also, we apologize for in advance because Amy and I have a long-standing relationship of making really bad puns. I recently deleted
or good puns. Why are they bad? They're
I think
good.
they're great puns.
They're really good.
Amy and I's relationship is very strong and based around specifically food puns, specifically pho puns. We've had many an exchange.
Food, musical theater puns as well.
Yes,
is like a big part of it.
I'm trying to think off the top of my head here. Of course, now I can't think of any of them.
And you deleted your Facebook,
and
so
I
it's like hard to look at the history.
But there will be many a dad joke on this show. What I'm gonna do real quick is I'm going to.
I mean, our CoinBaes is a dad joke, and my handle is a dad joke.
Yes, so. Money Whisper Her. Amy just changed her handle, so everybody go follow her on Twitter. Ooh, drop me the link for Lula and stuff in the chat.
I will. That's actually like what I'm doing right now.
Sweet. And I'm going to retweet the tweet. I'm going to say, okay, now we're live. Okay, now we're live. Okay.
And TLDR from my intro is I am the financial advisor I wish that I had when I was younger. And my whole mission is to teach the people financial literacy because I think it's criminal that we don't teach it in schools. So that's my financial advising philosophy.
Look, we've got people in the chat, Amy. I can't wait till you guys teach me about money. Hi, Daniel. Thanks for joining. I can't wait for Amy to teach me about money as well. A little bit of background on me real quick. I'm Chloe Condon. I am an actress turned developer relations human being over at Microsoft these days. But similar to Amy, my path here was quite non-traditional compared to most folks. And if you've ever worked in the arts before, you know that, or if you have an arts degree, there's not really any financial classes in your BA or BFA program. No one really sits you down and says, hey girl, do you know what to do with your money? Do you know how much money you'll be making? But I have found myself personally in a very unique situation where I went from a performing arts background into tech, where there's all these different like perks and benefits and strange foreign things that were very, very new to me when I came in, specifically 401k, things along, which I did have 401k, I believe, Amy, when I worked at Sephora in retail, but never contributed to because I didn't know what it was. So things like equity, things like having stock options at a company is all very, very, very new to me. So I've had to learn a lot through my partner, through asking other people, and money can be a very kind of vulnerable thing to admit that you don't know a lot about. But truly, we're not really taught this ever. My mom died when I was 15, 16. My dad is an artist, and not super like into money stuff. So I've been flying blindly for a majority of my life, and I'm now really I'm super excited for this show because I'm here to learn from Amy as well. I'm here for all the content you guys are here for, or y'all are here for. So yeah, very exciting stuff. But Amy, I figured we have 5 people tuned in, so exciting. As we are waiting for some folks to trickle into the chat, and while I update a couple things here.
So I gave you 2 links in the chat. I gave you the our website for lulafinancial.com, and then a link if people want to schedule a free call with me, some one-on-one stuff, they can do that using the link. Sweet. There's a link on the website too,
and what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to make sure, I think we're under, is there like a way, holler at us, Daniel, you're in the chat. Daniel, how do I I'm so new to Twitch, y'all. I'm like learning as I go here, so bear with me. Daniel, where do I change, or Taylor, where do I change it so it says, is there like a thing that I can put that's like finance and money. Is there like a thing that I should put on my stream? If so, holler at me in the chat. Let me know how to do that. But in the meantime, Amy and Taylor, you can help with this challenge as well. By the way, Amy, Taylor, go to creator dashboard. Taylor, who's in the chat, Amy, works at Twitch, Broadway performer who works in tech now. Love it. We love to see
him
it.
a mod. He can do it.
Make you a mod? How do I do that? I'm so new to Taylor. I'm so new to this. I'm trying. Hold on. Watch now with 11 viewers. I'm clicking on your name. I'm going to add you as a friend. Are you going to whisper to me now? Type /mod and then your screen name. Gotcha. Wow. Look at this. We're learning as we go here. This is so exciting. /mod Taylor. Do I have to put an at? I hope not. Do I? Just tell me. Okay. I think I did it. If not, okay. Did I do it?
He's a mod. Yeah.
You modding? Heck yeah. Okay. Mod squad. Thanks for being our first mod because we don't know what we're doing and we're very new to this. Taylor and I are going to take some time. Oh, we want you to, is there a way, should I like categorize this a certain way? Because this is like a money talking thing. Sorry, I'm not being eloquent. We have it under talk shows and podcasts, but I'm wondering if I should change it to something more specific. I'll let you do your magic, Taylor. Type the title you want. Okay. I think we're good. Let me know. I trust you, Taylor. You're the pro here. Ooh, we have 14 people tuning in live.
We're CoinBaes talking about money and finance.
Yes. Where did my pen go? Look at this professional operation we're running. Aha. Amy. Okay. Now that we have 14 people.
Hey, man, asking for help is a superpower. We gotta, it's something we do when we're little and then we get to be grown-ups and we feel like we've gotta like put on our big girl panties and, but like asking for help is huge. So I'm all about it. Thank you, Taylor, for helping us.
And thank you, Amy, because we'll go into our origin story in just a sec after a quick lightning round game. But a big reason why we're doing this show and why Amy is an amazing friend is there are a lot of questions that I've had about finance that I haven't felt comfortable asking my family or my boyfriend about, that Amy has just been such a non-judgmental, wonderful human being to ask it from. So hence this show being born. But Amy, as you know, and Taylor, when I scheduled this meeting with you after this call, I'm going to ask you to help me set this up. But I got this stream deck, Amy, which I'm thinking we can use at some point for like a soundboard. So my thought process is, let's do a quick lightning round. Given our expertise in musical theater puns and just like musical theater in general, let's think of all the songs in musicals about money that we like,
right,
or we think should be a sound bite, and then I'll write them down and then I'll add them to the stream deck as like little snippets, so we can do like, for example, easy one that we're both going to say, money makes the world go round, like something like that,
right?
Or like, we're in the money. I feel like we need that one.
Yeah,
but I'm taking
money, rich man's world.
Mamma Mia. Okay,
for sure.
And we can't pay for the rights for these, so it'll only be 3 seconds, but people will get the idea. All About the Green from Wedding Singer.
I don't know that one. Modern musicals. I'm like kind of, I'm not doing great, but
we have 42nd Street. What about All I Care About Is Love? Does that have any reference directly to money?
I was gonna say If I Were a Rich Man.
Amen. Okay. Do we do that one or do we do the Gwen Stefani version?
Ooh,
Rich Girl.
Rich Girl. Yeah, I guess that works too. And I'm from Orange County. She's from Orange County, so
she looks. Okay, have you seen her lately? She looks amazing. She's got to be like.
She kind of looks like she needs to eat a sandwich, but like no body shaming.
How old is Gwen Stefani now? She looks.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that like that elixir and Death Becomes Her. I'm pretty sure that she's taking it because she's like reversing an age.
Fountain of Youth. We've got some people in the chat. Money from Cabaret. Yes, we've got Cabaret. What else do we have? $10 Founding Father from Hamilton.
Hamilton.
I didn't even think of that one.
Duh. I see the modern musicals. I'm like, I can't even think about it. But
let's see.
What about from Annie? There's got to be something.
We're getting a new deal for Christmas this year.
Sure.
There's got to be a reference. What about Annie Warbucks? There's got to be a song.
96,000.
Oh my God. Thank you, Calamity Darling. Your girl Amy was in this, so she should know. 96,000. Absolutely. Maybe just one that's, if I win the lottery. And that's that.
Yep.
Or like, my money is making money is just the clip. We'll figure out the clip.
Yeah, we'll figure it
out. Shout out in the comments what the clip should be. Let's see. Taylor, help us out. Any other money ones? I'm trying. I'm like, who is a wealthy person in a musical? I'm trying to think of all them. We said Warbucks. I'm gonna put Annie ?
There's got to be something.
Something was missing. It is about money, metaphorically.
Yeah, but that's not. I feel like they have to be well-known songs too. We can't just.
How about If They Could See Me Now? Is that kind of?
Kind of.
Or there's gonna be something better. No, not direct reference. We're getting close, y'all.
I feel like the pressure of being on a live stream and trying to think of musical theater puns is like giving me stage fright.
I'm like taking a moment to be like, in what musical? A train. In what musical? What
are we gonna do? I'm JP Morgan, my friend, the wealthiest man on this earth. Success.
Success. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't Evelyn Nesbitt say anything that's like, you would know.
Yeah.
Let's go through the credits. No, I'm just kidding. Eccentric millionaire.
Yes. That's the lyric.
And then I'm also just picturing like Lil Abner's gotta have one. Okay, I'll do a deep dive later. I've got a good short list here. I think this is good. I'm like, who's rich in musicals?
And what about like, who will buy this wonderful morning?
Ripe strawberries, ripe. Absolutely. Okay, Oliver. Oh, you could literally do like one boy for sale.
Yes.
Maybe not. All I can think about is songs about being broke. Oh, give us those too. Actually, we need like all kinds of money songs.
Yeah.
Talking about
being
all kinds of areas.
What about from Aladdin or Les Mis? I feel like there's got to be some broke songs in those. Yeah,
like Les Mis. At the end of the day.
Yeah, Hard Knock Life is great. Good suggestion.
Hard Knock Life is absolutely great. Santa Claus, what's that? Who's he? I mean, I'll take any excuse to put that into a sound clip. What about, I'm like thinking of the yearning songs. Like, what about that, famous Chloe Condon audition song circa 2008, Gorgeous from Apple Tree, a deep cut.
Sure. That's kind of a deep cut.
It is a deep cut. Maybe not that one. We'll put a question mark next to that one. Okay, I'm gonna think of let's think of like two more. I'm like, who is struggling? Who is on some financial hard times in a musical? Also, I feel like Crazy for You must have a song about money. Maybe not. Okay.
Well, those are just gonna be Gershwin hits, so.
We can do this. Hold on. I'm just gonna search Broadway. Big Spender. Freaking Big Spender. Rent. Oh my God. How did we miss it? Rent. Big Spender. Absolutely.
Big Spender for sure. That's the Sweet Charity song that you're looking for.
And one more. Okay, we got Rich Man. I'm thinking of what shows have I been in? Is there any in Singing in the Rain? No. Okay, I'm just gonna put money songs Broadway. Money songs Broadway. I bet I'm already guessing the first search result is gonna be a BroadwayWorld.com forum post. Someone looking
for sure. For sure.
That are about money. I'm gonna share my screen because the fact that the accuracy of which I was able to guess what the first post would be for this, it was in fact a Broadway World post.
Oh, money keeps rolling in. Avita.
Oh my God, Avita and Rainbow High. Jeez.
Oh yeah, for sure.
96,000. Yes, yes, yes. I don't know the act. Money Tree from the act. I don't know that musical. It's all about the green. We're in the money. And the money kept rolling in, of course, of course.
What about I really need this job?
Yes, chorus line, of course. Bought myself a fancy pair. What do you think? Okay, while I write down the last couple ones, here's a question for you, Amy. Like, just maybe this is like a new segment on the show. Oh, great big stuff from Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. I didn't even think of that one. Easy Street. Of course. Easy Street. Okay, I think we got it.
We are reading the chat, Taylor.
Mr. Cladwell is also a great one. That's kind of a deep cut. So here's a question for everybody in the chat who's familiar with Chorus Line and Amy. How do we think, what's the character who plays Dance 10 Looks 3? I can't think of her name. How do you think Val afforded that plastic surgery on a dancer salary budget? Like, given the desperation and all of, like, do you think she has like a
she's got a rich dad.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. She's got a sugar dad.
She got off the bus and like, I mean, we know that this happens where girls go to New York and their rich daddies pay for their apartment and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure Val had a rich daddy.
Yes. Is it Baconaut? Yes. Give us your money. Great one. Thank you. That's our final one that we'll put on the list. I've got this great list here of all the songs. This is a very, I got this at Whole Foods. Make mistakes freely, which
I love it.
I feel like, I don't like to make mistakes with my finances, but I do allow myself some forgiveness when I'm learning new things about finance because this is new territory for me.
But it's a scary thing to like make a mistake about, which is why I think, I have a job as a financial advisor. But yeah, calculated risks, right? Or is part of the game.
We had a question here, daddy or daddy? Regarding Val from Chorus Line, could go either way, I think, canonically.
True.
I think, okay, if I was playing the role of Val, okay, let's go over what our backstories would be if we played the role of Val. Then we'll get into the real stuff. I feel like if I played Val, which I never would because #DancerThird, although would love to sing that song in like a staged reading someday if anybody's listening. Also, I would need to add my bra for that. Maybe my butt as well. I feel like my backstory would be the daddy with the sparkles in that she got off the bus and then she's like realizes that rent in New York at this time is expensive. She meets a swell guy at the automat. I don't know, it's the 70s, right? 60s, 70s. And she's resourceful and she saves the money. She doesn't just spend it all immediately. She like saved it all up to get plastic surgery. That would be my backstory. What about you, Amy?
I think she might be turning tricks also.
Yes. It is the 70s, 80s. I'm trying to think I guess it's a timeless timeline for a chorus line.
No, I think chorus line is supposed to be like 75 because chorus line is one of those things where it's like it has to be like the original. But Sling and Coke, totally.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally. Absolutely. Yeah. Especially in that time, especially Broadway during that time. Very different place, as you know, Taylor. Okay, so let's get into the origin story, Amy. I'm so excited. We figured this episode is just kind of a meet the host episode, very conversational. If you have any questions along the way, pipe in the chat.
Yeah, if you guys have questions about, I need to learn how to like not lean into my mic. If you guys have any questions about stuff, if we can't address it today, maybe we can address it next time.
We're taking notes. We'll add it all. If there's any like topics or things that you want us to, we'll have we'll make a little like Microsoft form or something that people can fill out and request anonymously or not anonymously different Requests and stuff. Ooh, I like that.
I like that
do I
question,
convert my
Taylor.
old startup 401 into something I can control? That's a great question.
That's a really good, and the fact that you even know that you can control your 401k is like top notch.
So Taylor's great. We had a DM conversation before because we both come from a theatrical background. We all come from a theatrical background here. But he was saying that backstage during the Broadway shows, he was the go-to person to fix the printer, which I love. That would be me too, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, we can't figure out like the PDF for the program or something. But Amy and I have a really kind of interesting, unique origins friendship story, which centers around a shared love for in and out, musical theater, and so many other things. But I'll start and then you can continue it.
Okay.
Okay.
I do kind of, when do we answer Taylor's question though?
Oh, what is the question?
His question is, how do I convert my old startup 401k into something that I can control? You can open up a rollover IRA at, wherever, Fidelity, Vanguard, blah, 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 Charles Schwab, doesn't matter. Open up a rollover IRA and roll it on over. And then you can have the whole stock market at your disposal to invest in. And then I would recommend a low-cost index fund. And we can get into low-cost index funds and why index funds are the shit. But yeah, hopefully that answers Vanguard. Yep. Open up a rollover IRA at Vanguard and then pick one of their low-cost index funds to transfer your assets into that are in there. And then you're good to go.
Vanguard, not to be confused with Nexium Vanguard. Very different Vanguard, just unfortunate naming. That's what they call the head of the cult in the Nexium, like Nexium cult. I kept getting ads for Vanguard, and I kept thinking about that.
Wait, Vanguard's been around for a while. I don't know what this cult is, but
okay. So there's this great HBO documentary that you're going to watch later. It's called oh my god, I'm totally blanking on it. But April and I are obsessed with it. And
cool. Who wants to give me an account on HBO Go?
I'll give you my info.
Sweet.
Oh, and there's a good podcast too. Nexium is also a good podcast.
Okay.
Just
amazing.
Fascinating, Amy, how TLDR, a company that branded itself around being like a public speaking Toastmasters-esque organization, was essentially like a sex cult operation where they branded women. Wild. Definitely recommend checking it. Actually, the documentary on, if anybody knows in the chat, there's one on Showtime, I want to say, and then there's one on HBO. The one that's written by, you know what I'm talking about. If you watch the show, you know. But I'll send you homework, Amy. It's a great show. We're gonna have to watch it in preparation for April being a guest.
Okay.
So, origin story of Chloe and Amy's friendship. I'll start, and then we'll do I'll point it over to you. So, once upon a time, circa 2000. Okay, 11 2010, 2011, because it was, I remember years in my life based off of what productions of Hairspray I was in in a short amount of time. So I was, to set the scene, I had just graduated from college in 2011 from San Francisco State University with a degree in drama, emphasis theater performance. And I ran into Amy 2 places, I believe. Was the first time Beach Blanket? Yes, is this correct?
Maybe. I feel like we also had a 42nd Street Moon.
We did. Sorry. Rewind. Okay, so I met Amy Shapiro. The first time I laid eyes on this beautiful creature, Amy Shapiro, I saw her across the room. I was in my first, oh my gosh, this was 2009 or 10 maybe, because it was a callback for Babes in Arms, directed by Diane McBride, I believe. No.
I don't know.
Yes, I think it was. And you were called back for the Judy Garland character. And I saw you immediately and I was like, she booked it. She looked just like Judy Garland. This girl, and her headshot even looked like Judy Garland. I was like, she's getting it. I was called back for a low lead ensemble member. And she nailed it. I was shocked she didn't book it. I booked it. I didn't book it. I later was called to be an ensemble member, but I was #booked and blessed. Fast forward a couple years later, and this what woman walks up to me on the steps of the palace, on the steps of Beach Blanket Babylon auditions. It was an open call. If you're not familiar with what an open call is, it's an audition where they're like, hey, anybody can come. Like, you don't have to schedule an appointment. Just like, come on over. And Amy and I were trying to get a job in one of the coveted Bay Area theater jobs at the time, R.I.P. Beach Blanket Babylon. So to give context here, it's very hard to make a living as an actor, especially full-time in the Bay Area. There's not a lot of gigs that are like consistent paycheck, runs for longer than, 3 to 4 months.
Right. You're an actor. They like gave health benefits too, right?
Yes. So like the two coveted jobs that I wanted after graduating from college were working at Beach Blanket Babylon, which would have been a dream, or working for Kaiser Permanente in the educational theater youth traveling program. Like literally, y'all, like getting health insurance as an actor is hard out here for a girl. Where basically you would get Kaiser health benefits, and the job was going to different schools in shows like Nightmare on Puberty Street, like Eat Your Vegetables, things educational, health. Like what's the word I'm looking for? What is it called when people would come to your school? Like a performance.
Yeah.
A thing.
I think we get it.
Not a field trip. I can't think of the word. I'm totally like.
It's not a pep rally.
Not a pep rally, but in the multi-purpose room, anyway.
Yeah.
So Amy comes up to me and goes, hi, Chloe. You and I both dated this asshole. And I was like, oh my God, we have this connection. And we ended up befriending each other at auditions. We never actually did a show together.
No.
Amy cut to a weird callback that you booked and I didn't, with many, many white women who looked and acted and sounded just like us. Amy, take it from here. Then what happened?
So my memory of this is we were sitting and it was like
an assembly. Thank you, everyone. That is assembly. The word.
That is the word. That's totally the word. So we were sitting, I remember like sitting on the ground, right? Because we're just lowly actors. We don't even get chairs. And I think we had a break. We were like, we had done stuff. We had to wait. And I remember us being like, we're hungry. There's an In-N-Out around the corner. This is when I was eating meat at the time. And we got into your yellow bug, your Beetle. I was super impressed that you drove stick shift.
Thank you.
We like bonded in the line at In-N-Out and we ate our In-N-Out. And it just kind of went on from there. And then I guess like, we would see each other at auditions. And then I saw you in Hairspray.
That's right.
And it was like, sometimes you see people in shows and you're like, oh, they did such a good job. But Chloe in Hairspray, what's Penny, whatever?
Penny Lou Pendleton.
This was like life-changing performance. Like, she was just so freaking funny and so good. And I was like, I have to like be this girl's friend. I kind of judge people based on whether they're talented or not. At least I used to. And so I was like, we have to be friends. We've been friends and we've stayed in touch and we hang out, we would see each other IRL, and we've just kind of made this friendship work. So it's been years.
Yeah. And Amy,
friends.
I'll never forget was like, because when you make a career transition from like any industry, there's certain people who understand it and certain people don't. I think a lot of people were really confused when I got into tech and were like, that's weird. We'll see you back at auditions in a little bit. But I was like, no, I'm going to go do this thing. I'm not coming back for like a while, you guys. And Amy was so sweet and considerate and like planned a like celebratory brunch for me that was like, congrats, you graduated from Hackbright. And it was like the first time that anybody from my theater past had like recognized what I was doing, and it meant a lot. So Amy, I appreciate you as a human. Thank you so much.
It's hard to pivot. And it's also hard because when and I love doing theater and I still like to do it. I mean, can't do it right now, but it's one of those things where you kind of feel this shame for like not going for it. Like, like oh, you're giving up on your dream. But it's like, there's other dreams. Like, just because you love theater and you might be good at it doesn't mean that that's the only thing you're good at. And that's the only place where you find value and worth.
Amen.
And I think it's, it's really important to find other things that, are good for you. And so for me, financial security, I love that, Taylor. You achieved your dream and you achieved more dreams. Like, yeah, because things change, when you get older and you're like, oh, my body doesn't want to do 7-8 shows a week. Right. And so I think it's important to like find your passion in other ways. And, sometimes you can find jobs that you can do both. You can find something that speaks to your heart and gives you the time and space so that you can do your other passions as well.
I always think of that quote from Into the Woods that Cinderella says, how do you know what you want till you get what you want and you see if you like it? Which for me was like, I reached the level of like success that I wanted to reach as a Bay Area actress, and I got it. Like, I kind of set these many goals for myself. Like, I want to be on a theater brochure, like really big deals. But it's true. Like, you work your way up in a certain industry or profession and you accomplish it and you get there and you look around and you're like, okay, cool. And I'm sure that was the same thing for Taylor. Like, especially like there's another wonderful, we should have her on the show. Carla Stickler, previous Alphabet understudy turned tech person. Like, we all get to go. You can have multiple dreams in your life and multiple careers and multiple accomplishments.
Right.
But yeah, I love this. There's multiple ways to achieve your dreams. Sometimes dreams change. In high school, I wanted to be a concept artist in games, and now I'm a UX designer in games. I love that. That's something I really love about tech too, is like in theater, and I'm sure Amy can speak to this as well. Sorry, I'm like smashing my ear under this thing. I think in theater, like, I know some of the most incredibly talented, amazing human beings out there, but so much of theater is circumstantial. Like, they need a 5'2" white, squeaky voiced, quirky woman for the show. I'm not in control of a lot of that. And something that's been really wonderful about making a career change into tech is like, I work in developer relations in the cloud now. In a couple of years, if I want to explore like AI and machine learning, like that option's available. So there's really no, like, that's something that was a big click for me is, you hone your craft as an actress, you sing, you dance, you can be the best singer, actor, dancer in the room. I have been and not booked the audition because you don't fit the costume. You are taller than the male co-star. Like, it's so much out of your control. Whereas what's been very lovely and rewarding in a career in tech is 100% that I give in, 100% that I give back. And it's always like, it's something. I still have dreams where I go on stage and I like don't know my lines. Like, I love performing. It's a part of my soul and my body. And I still feel like I do it a lot in my role as a DevRel. But yeah, you can always change course at any time. And you don't even have to leave it. Like, Amy and I are going to be auditioning in these streets with our equity cards when we're like 40, 50, like playing Mrs. Levitt. And like, there's roles. We're going to be in Footloose as the moms. It's going to happen. We're going to do it.
I want to be Ann Eller so bad.
Oh my God. Yes. I love that for you.
Well, we have some questions here, and I'm not really sure how to answer this first one. How do I balance sharing with my friends, still making minimum wage, with saving for my future? So I'm not really sure if the sharing with your friends, if you're making minimum wage or if your friends are making minimum wage. So I would love to answer that question. Please phrase it in a little bit better way for me. But the student loans, yes. So
we'll write that down.
We could devote a whole hour to this, but TLDR, I'm really hoping that Biden's going to do something for all of these student loans. But talk to Navient, talk to the federal student loan people and see what they can do for you. For example, if you were just kind of ignoring your loans for a while during this whole, COVID-19, the CARES Act, you could have gotten into a forgiveness program, not paid at all, and they would have counted your months of not paying as months towards that forgiveness program, which would take you out of oh my God, I can't think of the word right now, but it would, what is that word? Anyways, There's a lot of cool things that they can do, but because they're actually not allowed to contact people right now with student loans. And so the best thing to do is actually be proactive and call them, and they will help you get on the best program possible. So it might be, getting on a loan repayment program based on your income. You pay the smallest amount that you can. In 20 years, it's done. Hopefully there's going to be some student loan forgiveness, whether that's $10,000 for every year you worked in nonprofit, whatever. But I think the thing that is really sucky about student loans is that we're kind of fed this narrative, in high school and growing up that like, oh yeah, go to college, it'll be fine. Here, take out this loan, it'll be fine. And there's no teaching about what that actually means. And you kind of sign your life away, and there's not even a lot of paperwork. When you take out a mortgage to buy a house, for example, there is like a stack of papers, and you have to sign all this stuff saying that you understand and blah, 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 blah. Student loans, no, it's so predatory. So anyways, I would definitely recommend that you reach out to the wherever your student loans are, reach out to those government assistant programs and ask them what the best course of action would be for you, because they want to help. That's their job. So anyways, that's that.
By the way, I don't know if you've done a show with Zach. Wait, I don't know how to say I hope I'm pronouncing your last name right. Zach Franzak?
Zach Franzak! Oh my gosh, yes!
Hi, Zach. Zach Sarneen,
we did Strike Up the Band.
Oh my God.
We did at 42nd Street Moon.
Wait, which one's Strike Up the Band? Which one is that? That's
Strike Up the Band. I don't know.
Was that that was Nikita with Emma Stubbs. That's right.
Yes. And Megan Hop was in that too. Yeah, that was such a blast.
Your makeup looked so good. You and Megan looked so cute in all those backstage pictures. Like, I still remember those Facebook photos. Hi, Zach. Yeah, Amy's here. Can you believe? Like,
hi, Zach.
What are your reunion? I was going to say reunions, but then I finished it. Oh, hi, Andy. Welcome back to the stream. It's CoinBaes today. New show. So that's another really exciting thing. Maybe there's another episode. I do have a lot of folks who follow me who come from either an arts background. I even have like some tattoo artists, churn devs who come into here. So maybe a whole episode on like how to think about that, like coming from an arts background or something. We can do that for sure. Okay, wait, did we finish our origin story? We went to In and Out and the rest is history. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we need to share about the Chloe Amy origin story. We one time, just some highlights from the Amy and Chloe origin story. We one time cosplayed the girls for all seasons from Greece with our dear friends, who was with us? Kate and Addie. I was summer. You were fall. If you're not familiar with girls,
no,
for all
I was
seasons,
spring. Was spring.
And we were called on, not to brag, but we were called on stage because our costumes were so amazing. We also, at the same theater, at the Castro Theater, attended a screening of Waiting for Guffman for SF Sketchfest, moderated by, oh my gosh, who moderated that? I don't remember who moderated, but the whole cast, or majority, how do you say this?
Bob Balaban.
Christopher Guest.
Mm-hmm.
Parker Posey
Parker Posey was there. Yeah, she was so weird on her chair and like, yeah, she was
very Olsen twins.
So funny, yeah.
We got yelled at in a hallway for peeking at them, or an alleyway. I should say.
We were not. You don't remember what we were doing in the alley?
I do remember, but we will save that for another episode.
Okay.
In case I get into children's education programming. Yes, we got a comment here. I feel like Scrooge McDuck is required. I expect you both already spoke about this. Yes. So the background, you may notice our very professional background. We put this together. Here, let me remove the banner for a second so you can see it in all its glory. Believe it or not, y'all, only an hour ago, we did not even have this image. And your girl, who is very skilled in the art of, I guess it's not Microsoft Paint because I'm doing this from a Mac, from video or image preview, made this very professional image. We basically searched the keywords Scrooge, McDuck, money, pool, vault, and then added our images onto, I don't know which ducks these are, Huey and Dewey, maybe Louie, not sure, but yeah, please enjoy our very very, very professional graphics here. Ooh, I'm going back to the comments. Sorry, y'all. Okay.
So apparently I was flexing. I don't mean to brag, but yeah, so I guess Zach's kind of bringing up my background. So at that time, yeah, I probably was a manager at Starbucks at that time.
Yeah, we should talk about that real quick. So you
Yeah.
came into so to give y'all some of the credits here, Amy has worked at Starbucks corporate, she's worked at places like Sephora corporate and a bunch of really cool, interesting roles. But before working at Starbucks corporate, you started as a barista, correct?
Yeah. So when I graduated high school and I was working, I'm from Southern California. I was a Christmas caroler at Disneyland and I was doing shows and stuff. And I was like, well, I was going to school. I was just going to a JC. And I was like, well, I should get a job. You know, I was living on my own. And anyways, I started working at Starbucks as a barista when I was like 18. And I liked it and I continued to work there and I became a store manager when I was like 21. So I worked my way up and I worked there for a long time. And Starbucks is a really great company. Say what you will about their coffee if you don't like whatever, but if every corporation behaved like Starbucks does, the world would be a better place. They've been offering health benefits to part-time employees since the early 90s. And one of the cool things they did while I was working there was they actually offered free tuition to go to Arizona State University and do their online program. So I had gone to JC and had done all my general education, but stopped going to school because I was like, well, I'm making money. I don't really know what I want to major in. I know I don't want to major in theater. So like, what do I do? And so I stopped going to school. So I never got my degree. And then, several years later, Starbucks was like, hey, as a benefit, you can do online courses and get your degree at Arizona State University. And I was like, I am for sure taking advantage of this. So I did. I got my degree in technology, entrepreneurship, and management from Arizona State University, paid for by Starbucks. So going back to that student debt thing, like, I don't know if you need to finish your degree, like if you've just got a few courses to take and you might want to look into working at Starbucks so you can get a degree at ASU. Anyways.
I'm listening, by the way. I'm just putting on the gram that we're doing this.
Okay. So that's kind of that. And then I left Starbucks. I went into corporate. I left the stores, went into corporate. And then I left that Starbucks job. I started working at Sephora. And now, while I was working at Sephora, I became a licensed financial advisor. And so now I'm doing that full time. And it's been pretty cool. So my career trajectory went like this, but I think most people, that's what they do. When you talk to most professional people, they don't stay in the same role forever and ever and ever. A lot of people kind of go all sorts of places. And I think that's okay. Like my taste in all sorts of things has changed, as I've gotten older. And so what I want to do with my life has changed. But I think with this one, the thing that really resonates with me is helping people. And so I had a pretty profound psychedelic experience where I realized that I needed to do a job that was helping people. And so anyways, that's how I fell into this.
And I think that's also maybe a reason why Amy and I kind of connected so early on in doing theater stuff, because I found not for the most part, but like a majority of the time in my mid to late 20s, a lot of people would be like, oh wow, I thought you were older, like you really have your shit together, because I always had a 9-to-5 Monday through Friday job. I wasn't working in tech, but I was either an executive assistant, a recruiter, I worked in retail. Like I didn't have the financial resources from my family or my parents or anything like that to lean on. So I needed to work full time. So I think in a lot of ways, Amy and I sort of connected on like, oh, you too, like it's hard out here, right? Like you work full time because, you know, it was not, I would say the majority of the case, but there were a lot of people whose financial situation was they had a wealthy spouse who was able to support their theater career, or maybe they were living at home and they had family money. So I think we connected and bonded on like, oh, you're exhausted all day because you work out in these streets as well.
Right.
And let's see.
There's a good question. I know how to answer this question from so what's the difference between something like a financial advisor and a financial coach? Semantics. But really within that, there's kind of two schools. There's kind of two main financial advisors, coach, whatever. So there's investment advisors who are people that are like, hey, give me your money. I'm going to make money with your money, hopefully. And I'm probably going to charge you a fee for that. It's usually like 1% of total assets under management. And the thing with those guys is that you have to pay them that fee, whether or not they actually make money with your money. And 85 to 90% of the time, they don't actually beat the market. So I actually think investment advisors are bullshit. Anyways, that's what I had when my father died. That's what I got. And that's why I was like, I need to learn how to do this, but not be that. Sure. And so I consider myself a financial planner, financial coach. I moonlight as a financial therapist. So I am not what's called custodial, which custodial means that you own their assets. So I am fiduciary. Thank you, Ty Smith.
Hello, Ty from downstairs.
Hi, Ty.
That's my boyfriend.
So fiduciary means that I'm legally obligated to make the best choice for my clients, and that I'm registered as a financial advisor representative and stuff like that. So I'm not just some like random Joe Schmo that's helping people, and it's in your best interest. So if there is a conflict of interest, I would have to disclose it. Fortunately, for the way that we do business at lulafinancial.com. Oh, can you put that banner back up? The only way that I get paid is when people decide that they want to move forward with getting a plan from me, or if they want the ongoing advising. I don't sell you any kind of insurance policies. I'm not trying to get you onto some like actively managed fund that I get a cut from. If you need help with like figuring out someone to do your taxes for you, if you need to talk to a mortgage lender, I'll give you some, referrals, but I don't get anything from that. The only way I get paid. So the only disclosure I have is the stock market can crash repeatedly. So that's it. So I hope that answers your question. But as far as like what we do is we are a financial coach. So I kind of compare myself to a personal trainer. So when you go to the gym and you meet with a personal trainer and they're like, okay, you're going to want to do this machine and do this many squats and this many burpees, and you want to eat like this. And you're like, okay, cool. But sometimes that means that you have to meet with that personal trainer on an ongoing basis to make sure that you are accountable to the plan. And then as your needs change, they help you change with that. So as a financial advisor, I meet with my clients. We look at their budget, we talk about their future goals. I show them a sample financial plan. If they decide that they want to go forward with it, then I go away, I write their financial plan, and we go over everything. So it's not just stock market stuff. It's your retirement, it's insurance, it's, credit card spending, your budget, your parents, an estate plan, what it looks like to buy a house. It's like the whole thing. It's not just like, let's put money in your brokerage account and I'm going to charge you 1%. It's not that at all. So if you go to lulafinancial.com and you click on the About Us, there's actually a cute video that Benjamin, the founder of lulafinancial.com, made, and it kind of explains what we do. So I'm kind of the anti-financial advisor because I teach people how to manage their own finances so that eventually they dump me. So I'm teaching you how to fish as opposed to just giving you that fish. So
Got another one. This
anyways,
is a good one.
so how do you convince employees to sign up for a 401k? One of the cool things about a 401k is that well, I'm going to talk about a traditional 401k. So let's say you make $100,000. The maximum you can contribute is $19,500. So let's say you contribute the maximum to your 401k. What's cool about that is that Uncle Sam is like, okay, you didn't actually make $100,000 this year. You only made $80,500. So it's tax exempt income, which is pretty cool. And the other cool thing about 401 about any kind of retirement account, whether it's a 401k, traditional IRA, Roth IRA, and we can go on a whole show talking about that. But retirement accounts are great because you put them in and it's like a forced savings account because you can't touch it until you're 59 and a half. Well, you can, but then you get penalized. Anyways, don't do it. So it's like
a lot of people
yourself.
on 90 Day Fiance do that. And they're like, I'm taking out my 401k early so I can go visit my 90 Day Fiance. Don't do that.
Do not do that. Don't do 90 Day Fiance anyway.
No.
But what's cool about it is that your money is going to grow over time in the stock market. And it's just going to keep growing and growing. The more you throw in there, the more it's going to grow. And time is the best asset that you have for contributing to a retirement account because of how, exponential interest and returns work. If you look at a graph, and we could show you a graph, but over time, the stock market, what? All right, I want to use this arm. It kind of goes like this, and it goes down, and it goes up, and it goes down, but it's eventually it goes up. And so it doesn't take long for your money to start making money. And that's how the rich people do it. So that's 401. Yeah, retirement accounts are great. So I'm setting up my Roth IRA and E-Trade this weekend. I have great. So Roth IRAs are really cool because instead of you getting saving on the tax now, so like let's say you contribute to your 2021 Roth IRA, you can contribute up to $6,000 in a normal Roth IRA. So you don't get to take that out of your income for this year for taxes. But then because you've already paid taxes on those contributions, they're going to grow. When you're old and you want to take money out, you don't have to pay taxes on them anymore because you've already paid taxes. So you have to pay taxes at least once. You either pay taxes on the contributions when you put them in, so that's a Roth IRA, but then you don't pay taxes later, or you don't pay taxes now, but then you have to pay taxes later when you take them out. The thing is with Roth IRAs, unless you do a backdoor, which is a whole nother thing, but typically with Roth IRAs, if you make more than $124,000 a year, you probably aren't going to be contributing into a Roth IRA because there are income limits there. But that also means that you're in a higher tax bracket now. And so you wouldn't necessarily want to not get the tax benefit of contributing to a retirement account now because of your high tax bracket. And then later in life, when you're old and you're not working anymore, you're just getting Social Security and taking out of your retirement account, your income is going to be lower. So your tax bracket is going to be lower. Whereas if you're not making a lot of money now, if you're making less than 124,000, your income, your tax bracket is going to be low. So it's okay for you to pay taxes on that and then not have to pay taxes on it later. Are there still early withdrawal penalties on a Roth? Yes. Any IRA, there are penalties. Side note, with some cool stuff that they've done in the government, there are certain scenarios where they will waive the penalty. However, I still don't feel like it's a good idea to take money out of a retirement account because, like I said, the best asset you have in your retirement account is the time that you put it in there. So any asset that you take out of your retirement account early, you're going to lose out on the potential gain from, having it in there for many years because you can't just you can only put up to the maximum amount in a retirement account in 1 year. So if you take $100,000 out of a retirement account, you can't turn around and put it right back in.
Yeah.
So don't, I just would avoid taking money out of your retirement account at all costs. Definitely contribute to retirement accounts.
Here's one. How would you handle your income increasing over time? Do you have an IRA and a Roth IRA that you contribute to? Let's say if I make, fingers crossed, over 124K. It's a good question.
Yeah, so you can change whether you're contributing to what's called a post-tax account, which is a Roth IRA, or a pre-tax account, which is a traditional IRA. And there's 401ks also offer Roth and traditional. So it depends, but yeah, you make those selections. You can change, even if you have a 401k, you can change your contribution amounts. You can rebalance the investments in there. You can change it. And once you hit that limit, so let's say you've got a 401k and you've been contributing $2,000 every month. Once you hit 19,500, your paycheck is going to stop taking money out because you can't contribute more than what's allowed. So the easiest way to set up a backdoor Roth IRA is to work for a company that does it for you. That it is a pain in the butt. It is a lot of overhead, Ty. It's a lot of paperwork. It can be done. The thing with setting up a backdoor Roth IRA, and this is for setting up an IRA for people who make more than 124,000. Essentially, what you're doing is you're contributing to your 401k or your traditional IRA, and then you're doing a transfer from your 401k or your IRA into your Roth IRA or 401k, but you get taxed on it because it's always post-tax money. So it's like doing it after the fact. And it seems like it should be illegal, but it's not for some reason. So anyways, it is a lot of overhead. There's a few companies that do it for you. I think like in the Bay, Amazon, oh my God, what are they? I have a list of the ones that do it.
Uber,
Maybe Uber.
Yeah.
Maybe Uber. I think I've got this resource. Backdoor.
Hello to all 22 people tuning in. I apologize. I'm very new to Twitch, so I'm learning how to do all the beeps and boops and things that happen when people follow and subscribe. So apologies if you're not getting like ceremony around that right now. I promise next episode I'll have my shit together with my beautiful stream on my stream deck, which we're going to add all of the musical theater sound effects to for next week's app. This is going to be a weekly show, y'all. So definitely follow me, follow Amy. Amy just changed all of her handles to Money Whisper Her, as you can see right here. Such a great name. Here's a great question, Amy. Where to go? Sorry, we're just getting so many questions. It was a question about if you see folks, let me see.
Outside of California, yes, the answer is yes. I had a client in Kenya.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It wasn't that one. It was, hold on.
The yearly cap you can contribute to a 401k is $19,500. Or if you're older, it's a little bit more than that, but typically it's $19,500. And for whoever financial advisor do their backdoor Roth IRA for them, that means that your financial advisor is likely custodial and they're charging you some pretty high fees to do that for you.
I like this question because this is from, hey Callie? Tell me if I'm saying that right, because you tune into all my streams and you're such a great participant. Do you see a lot of people trying to get financial assistance earlier in life? I love this question, Amy, because, and I'm sure I've mentioned this to you before, like, well, as is evidenced by my hair color and my aesthetic, I feel like I never truly grew up, and like financial advising and something that grown-ups do. And I'm at this moment in my life now where I'm like, oh shit, I'm 31. Like, and I make money now. I need to figure this out. So this is a good question. Do you see, like, what is kind of the range of folks that you're working with for the kind of stuff that you're doing?
I mean, I personally have clients that are in their 20s, and I have some clients that are already retired. So I get so excited when young people come to me because, like I said, time is your best asset. And so, there are things that I wish I had done differently when I was in my early 20s. I wish I'd been maxing out my 401k this whole time.
Gosh, yeah.
Fortunately, I was never in debt. I never had credit card debt or anything like that. But I see a lot of people, a lot of young people getting into credit card debt. And that is like the devil. That's a downward spiral. So
I'll be
especially,
transparent. I had a lot of credit card debt, like going into, especially after my boot camp. Like
yeah.
I sold my Polly Pockets on eBay. I was able to get a little bit of financial assistance from my family, but I didn't have the 20K to attend
Mhm.
a boot camp, and I ended up going into debt. And a lot of what I learned was from Amy, from my partner Ty. Nobody teaches you how to do this stuff, and it's tough and it's
No.
vulnerable, and it can be, that's a big reason why we're doing this show, is like
Yeah.
it's tough to like admit that you don't know things, and then to like crawling out of debt is really stressful and hard,
Yeah.
and it's
Especially credit card debt because the interest rates are always double digit. And especially like right now, we're in a period in like of historically low, unheard of interest rates. And so right now, it really doesn't make sense to be in credit card debt because you can get a mortgage for 2.25. So 2.25% interest rate.
yeah, no
Um,
to the not the Polly Pockets. I know, but the good news is, y'all, I now am financially stable enough that I was able to buy myself a Furbaka without thinking twice about it, a Furby Chewbacca. Which, oh my gosh, this is like a great way to kind of like close out the stream for the day. We'll maybe take one or two more questions because we've been streaming for over an hour, Amy. So
yeah, I
exciting!
know.
Our first
Time flies.
show.
Yeah.
Um, so I want to share a little, we love a prop. We love a set dressing moment. Um, so speaking of financial security, this is my Princess Diana beanie baby that I brought to the stream today. The reason that I brought this is I told myself when I paid off my debt and got to a stable financial place where literally, y'all, I was not crying. Like you can ask Ty in the chat, like finances used to stress me out and sometimes still stress me out. I mean, health insurance is another thing. I cried about that last week. But I would get so stressed out thinking about finances. Like I would get hysterical and just be like, I can't do this. It was kind of a thing that just gave me a lot of anxiety. And I promised myself that when I paid off on my debt, I would like buy something significant to kind of like remind myself, like, and I think originally I had pictured like maybe I'll buy myself like a Tiffany bracelet or something like that. But then I was like, okay, that's a little counterproductive because I don't want to go back in debt as soon as I go in debt. But growing up, I had a childhood friend, shout out to Ali Moreno, whose mother, shout out to Ali's mom, had a Princess Diana beanie baby in a plastic case. And I thought it was like the peak of luxury and wealth. Like I was like, wow, that is like $1 million beanie baby. I cannot imagine like being a grown up and being so cool that I could have my own. So I bought this beanie baby on eBay. I think for like beanie babies did not the market on that did not, the investment return was not great. But I bought this beanie baby for myself that I plan on putting in like, what is it called? A cloche? Is that what it's called? Those like glass jar, bell jar things, because it's sort of like a weird significance thing for me and me only that probably, people see in the background of my boyfriend's business meetings and think like, does this man have a child? But it was like a significant moment for me because I think I never in a million years thought that I could get to a place of financial security where I could like confidently look at my bank account and not have a literal panic attack in even thinking about my finances. So yes, thank you. People are saying congrats, Chloe, in the chat. I super appreciate it. It still makes me super uncomfortable. I'll like be totally honest. Like I'm very excited for this show because it forces me to like address and ask questions like very publicly, but also like I want other people to know, because we don't talk about a lot of these things, that this stuff can be very uncomfortable, especially when you're coming from a place of little to no knowledge, and we're here to help. So please join us weekly.
So a few side notes to that. So I'm seeing some pretty specific stuff like whether you should buy a rental property or cash on hand, and and I'm not going to be able to give individual investment advice on this show because as a fiduciary, I need to know so much more about you and your situation before I can tell you whether or not you should do something. I'm also not a fortune teller or a time traveler, so I have no way to know whether or not something's going to burst. I mean, I have some opinions about what I'm seeing and some trends, but I can't, I'm not going to say confidently that I know the future because I obviously don't. So I just, as a disclosure, I'm not a magician. I don't know those things. But I just want to make sure that, and even like I've been seeing like, you know, with COVID-19, like the recommendations for cash hand-on security is like out the window because there's some people that, you know, if you are having a hard time being employed during this time, then yeah, if you need that cash, right? But there's some people who are gainfully employed and the stock market has gone gangbusters. So it's like, and the interest rates are really shitty. So it's like, why are you leaving so much money in your high yield savings account when you could be making, you know, 18% in the stock market right now? So, you know, it's what they call it, like a K-shaped recovery. So people who, the haves are going to have more and the haves nots are going to have less. And it's really sucky. But if you guys want to go to lulafinancial.com, check us out. There's an About Us page. There's a really cool video on there that explains what we do. We offer a free 20-minute call to like see if we'd be a good fit. And the second meeting is free as well. So what was that? How much will a storage
I
unit?
was going to answer this question because as a toy collector myself, that's a great question. To be perfectly honest, y'all, so I have all of my childhood McDonald's toys. I've saved everything. I had my original Pee Wee Herman doll, and I am always shocked by what is worth money and what isn't. Mint condition, always better. But I lived a majority of my life thinking like, okay, these Beanie Babies, they're going to appreciate. No. But I'm always pleasantly surprised when I look up like a random toy, like my dinosaurs toys or things like that, like the dinosaurs. Definitely worth an eBay search. Definitely easier to sell than China. Ask me how I know. I inherited my great grandmother's China and it's a huge pain in the ass. Maybe we'll do a whole episode about
that. Nobody likes China. Our generation does not like China.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm so tired of washing dishes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not bone china. Although, okay, I have a very funny, interesting story to share on the show. Maybe this is an interesting, given today's events, maybe an interesting story. And I was there. I experienced this. So this is truth, although we can't confirm. When I was 8, 9, maybe 10, elementary school age, my mom and dad and I, we didn't travel a whole bunch, but we did a lot of like West Coast trips. So we like traveled to like Blue Lake and, you know, Los Angeles quite a bit. Gosh, what is that? Morro Bay, places along the coast. And we were in this antique shop and my mother, rest in peace, died a long time ago. So we cannot confirm the story with her. But I was there, so you can trust me. My mother overheard a conversation of this older woman having a conversation with the antique shop owner, kind of throwing a stink, being like, no, I mean blue willow china. I don't mean blue china. China that is a special. And my mom was like, oh, excuse me, ma'am. Like, I know what you're talking about. I have a set of blue willow china. And this woman was like, oh, let me give you my number. She writes down the phone number and her name. Last name, Trump. I believe, and at the time my mom was like, oh, interesting. I think this is no internet like back in the day to like easily search this. I believe it was Donald Trump's mom, not joking, looking for blue willow china in this antique shop. I mean, who knows where this phone number is probably written on a post-it like circa 1997 or 1998. And my mom was like, oh, great. We can finally sell this china to this woman who I believe is Trump's mother. I don't think we ever ended up, my mom had ADHD as well, I'm sure, and I don't think she ended up following up. But Donald Trump's mother could have taken this china off my hands, and yet I am still stuck with it. It is literally downstairs. I have to take it to a storage unit because, like, who has time to go piece by piece through a freaking china collection? But Donald Trump's mom, I believe, almost bought this china, and yet here I am stuck with this debt. Not debt, like it's just like emotional debt to have to go through all of this. But
so I personally I wouldn't recommend trying to get into like the tangible collectible things as like an investment strategy. I think that's super risky.
Yeah.
But if you love it and you've got a garage where you can store it, then great. But you know, if you're having to pay rent for a storage unit because you've got a bunch of shit, I would think twice about that.
Yeah, definitely watching Storage Wars has changed my opinion on, or just even what is it, Antiques Roadshow? People bringing on things on there being like, how much is this worth? It's an heirloom. And it's like, well, it has sentimental value to you, but like no one actually gives a shit. But yeah, anyway, fun, weird Donald Trump timeline story. Oh yeah, Chloe Condon, you should set up your own demolition room with that china. Honestly, it's such an emotional burden at this point that like I called up my grandma, shout out to Graham, and I was like, Graham, can I sell this? I don't like it. And she's like, girl, I don't even like that china. Get rid of it. I just love these like these emotional burdens we put on our like children and our children's children to just be like, take this china that you'll never use. Let's just end that tradition, please. I mean,
Straight up say no, thank you.
Yeah. I didn't have a choice. It's just ended up with me. I'm like, great. Now I have all this china that I'm never going to use, but it's beautiful. Donate to an antique store. I wish, but I looked up the resale price on this stuff, and like some of the soup tureens are worth a couple $100s alone. So I would, it's one of those things where it's like, is it worth it? Let me work it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, what a good profile pic. Which one of us? I mean, they're both great. Also, these pictures down here. If you're just joining, we made this background image in the 30 minutes before we went live in like photo preview, and I'm pretty proud.
When she says we, she means she did it, and I sat here and watched her.
You gave advice on the placement of the CoinBaes, and we went through a couple images first. But before we wrap things up, girl, let's go. So you can look forward to, we've taken a bunch of notes obviously on things that you've asked in different topics. You can tweet at me, tweet at Amy, Money Whisperer, Chloe Condon, any like specific topics, things you want us to address. We'll do whole deep dives on some of these things, y'all. This is just a intro, getting to know you episode. But Amy, is our first ep. Any parting thoughts before we let these lovely humans go and enjoy their evening?
If you're lucky enough to have a job right now and you have an employer and they have a 401k plan, whether it's matching or not, put as much as you can afford into your retirement account.
Yes. Love it. And I'm going to say, if you are watching the show thinking like they said a bunch of words I don't understand and this is way over my head, don't worry. I'm going to be the one asking all the stupid questions on the show, I'm sure. I'm very much learning as I go as well. So there's no stupid questions. Like, bring it. You can literally ask us like, I don't know.
I might not be able to answer them, but you can totally ask them.
Yeah. But we got to think of like, tune in every week because we're going to have like an intro outro song eventually. We're going to have our sound effects board pretty soon here. It's going to get really, really fancy up in here. But until next time, it's been real, y'all. I'm Chloe.
I'm Amy.
And we're the CoinBaes. And we'll see you next Wednesday. Same-ish time. We'll probably start a little earlier next time. But until then, y'all, we'll see you on the interwebs. Bye.
Oh, there's my dog. Gotta go.
It was the waving of the tail. Bye.
Yeah, bye.